Thank you for your interest in Ceramics 1 and Ceramics 2, as well as taking the time to watch our little video here. This video is going to explain a little bit about what both classes offer, how they're different, what you could expect to learn, and the experiences that you're going to have. I'm going to start by giving you some reasons to take an art class. First of all, it is a different learning environment than any other classes that you have in school. This is hands-on learning, so you're going to be working with clay and working on the potter's wheel and interacting with other people during the class. You're also going to be able to develop some problem-solving skills that you can't develop in other classes in this manner. We also learn new methods of expressing your ideas, so that gets to the point of that it isn't about creating specifically what the teacher wants you to do, but rather coming up with your own idea and the teacher helps you express that idea. We also work on visual and verbal communication. Art is a visual language, and so we're able to take our ideas and find new ways of communicating those ideas. And we do this all in a safe and supportive environment. It isn't just about the teacher providing help and support, but rather we as a class develop relationships that help each other learn. Art is a great place to learn and grow because we use a lot of trial and error. And what I mean by that is that the best way to learn something is to try it, see what happens, learn from it, and move on. So we embrace, as we jokingly refer to it, as failing. We say, oh gosh, yeah, what happened here? Okay, let's try it again. We also learn how to goal set and manage our time, which is something that is going to benefit you in other classes as well as in daily life. We have some very cool, unique experiences that you're really not going to get in any other class. This includes, but is not limited to, art shows and field trips. And of course, some people are looking for a career in art, and whether it be architecture and design, entertainment design, and industrial design. We teach you some of the skills that you're going to need to work in those fields. So what's the difference between the two? Well, Ceramics 1 is an introductory level course, meaning, and I cannot stress enough, no experience necessary. So what I mean is I've had students tell me, I've always wanted to take an art class. I always wanted to do ceramics, but I don't know how, so I didn't take it. Well, that's the perfect reason to take a class, because you don't know how. That's why we want you in these classes. If you're interested in learning about it, we're going to teach. No experience necessary. We also learn various basic techniques and processes. So again, no experience necessary. If you don't know anything, that's awesome. And we learn about ceramics not just as vessel forms like bowls, but rather as sculpture as well. Ceramics 2 is an intermediate or advanced class. That means that Ceramics 1 is a prerequisite, and in here what we're doing is you're exploring more development of a series of work around an idea. Whether that be hand building or wheel throwing, you are going to be coming up with a body of work. You get a lot of freedom and a lot of choice in this class. Understanding it's not easy to come up with themes, we teach you how to explore and communicate these very complex themes. So what are you going to be learning? Well, here's some examples of some things. But Ceramics 1 is going to deal with hand building techniques as well as working on the pottery wheel. The semester is split in half, so you get experiences with both. In Ceramics 2, it really boils down to what your theme is, whether you'll be on the wheel most of the time or whether you will be hand building most of the time. In both classes, we really look at surface treatment and decoration. It isn't just about building the vessels or sculptures, but rather what else can you do to it to convey your theme. Which brings us, of course, to thematic development and color theory, because both of those go hand in hand with conveying your ideas. What is the idea? How do you develop that idea? And how can color help advance that idea? Art criticism is used all throughout the semester. We're constantly looking at what we're doing well and how we can improve. It isn't just about this isn't a good sculpture, but rather what is working, what is the idea, and how can I make it better? And once again, time management or organization. We definitely work on that because there's only a certain amount of time that we have to work with the clay. Otherwise, it could potentially set us back. So we work on time management and organizing our materials to be as effective as possible. How are you going to learn all this? Because that seems like a lot, right? We learn all of this through small and large group discussion and instruction. So again, it isn't just about one person talking all the time, but rather having conversations. Also, we as instructors are going to meet you where you're at and provide individual skill development. All of this is centered around producing artwork. So every time that we have a critique or a written reflection, it's about what is going to best help us convey our idea. all throughout the semester you're working on developing a portfolio so that way you could see how it is that you're growing. And we could also document sometimes some of those things that didn't work out the way we wanted it to. What did we learn from it? And talking about unique experiences, here you can see 2 pictures of a raku firing, which is very unique to ceramics, and you're not going to do this in any other class, guaranteed. So here's some examples of some Ceramics 1 student work. Keep in mind when you're looking at this work that these students had no experience coming into the class. That's right, no experience. Wow, they were naturally good. No, this is a result of weeks of practice. This is a result of trial and error. Some of these designs didn't come out the way they wanted them to, but they tried, and that's what matters, is that we're coming up with ideas, trying something, and seeing what works. Here's some example of Ceramics 2. You can see that the work is a little bit more complex, a little bit more refined, and the ideas tend to be a little bit deeper. And that's perfectly fine because these students, like Ceramics 1, are experimenting. They are learning through trial and error as well. And that is a beautiful thing about art, is it's okay to make mistakes because that's how we learn. Another reason to take Ceramics 1, Ceramics 2 is if you're interested in art as a course of study, whether it be in a vocational school, college, university, and you're interested in it as a career, specifically with architecture, entertainment, and industrial design. These are some of the examples of what people in those fields do. Thank you once again for coming and spending time to learn a little bit about Ceramics 1 and Ceramics 2. If you have any other questions or wish I would have covered something, please don't hesitate to contact the Lake Park High School Art Department. Once again, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you in class.